No one told me what benefits I had. You know that I waited almost 40 years to know that I qualified for VA. No one told me. And he honored me several years back with a flag that flew over Saddam Hussein's castle. Yes, I have that flag signed by the commanding officer. But I got to tell you, the schooling was great. I'm originally from California. I was born and raised in California, and never seen it snow in my life until I went to Meridian, Mississippi. Yeah, so that was a great experience. So I got to travel, and I got to see different places, and yeah.
Hello and welcome to Veterans Voices. I'm excited to welcome our guest on today's episode, Mr. David Katz, a distinguished Marine Corps veteran who has dedicated his career to serving his country and supporting fellow service members. Throughout his time in the Marine Corps, David has displayed unwavering commitment, discipline, and resilience qualities that have defined his service. David's journey in the military exemplifies his strength, honor, of the Marine Corps, and his continued efforts to support the veteran community showcases his dedication to helping others. Today, David joins us to share his insights from his service and the challenges he overcame and the lessons he continued to carry forward. We're honored to have him here on the show and look forward to learning from his experience. Mr. Katz,
Yes, sir.
welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Oh, great, great. So wonderful, really, to have you here. We traveled all the way to San Diego to really get some real impactful information from you to be able to support our veterans and also the audience to make sure that every piece of experience that we want to go ahead and highlight, we want to go ahead and talk about.
Sounds good.
Really excited to have you here.
Let's do it.
All right, fantastic. So, first and foremost, again, I just want to kind of start at the beginning. Let's start at the beginning, right? We always prompt our veterans with the question of, well, what made you join the military?
Well, to be honest, I was a 17-year-old punk that thought he was tough and could do anything. And one of my friends actually joined the Marine Corps and asked me if I wanted to go with him. And I said yes. I took a journey with him. We went in on the buddy program, and we decided to go in at the same time. We ended up being, we watched each other's back through boot camp. We went to boot camp together. We went to school together after boot camp, which boot camp is an adventure in itself, of course. I'm sure everybody's heard about Marine Corps. Was it tough? Yeah, it was a little tough. Even though I was used to always getting in trouble, always getting screamed at, it was just part of it. I think that the experience I had in boot camp carried me quite a ways in life. Just the added discipline that the Marine Corps added to me in my life to today has stayed with me, hasn't left. And it built this family bond, this unity that 43 years later, I'm still with the same wife that I've had 37 years, 4 sons later, and it was a heck of an experience.
All right, so most people don't have the opportunity to be able to join the military with someone that they knew, right, going into service. Can you give me a little bit about that experience? How was it in the process? Because transitioning from a 17-year-old, young man going to the Marine Corps and having to grow into a real man,
Yes.
with responsibilities and roles. So how was that?
Going in at 17 years old, as you know, we're young men. We're not men yet, and the transition is a major change in life. From going to do whatever the heck you want to do to having to follow orders is probably the number one thing. But my friend that went in with me, his name is Alex, and me and Alex pretty much stuck by each other the whole time, and we pushed each other, and we made it. We graduated boot camp together. I graduated. Actually picked up my E2 out of boot camp. So I was one of the few that became a private first class. And there was nothing better than having stripes on your shoulder when others don't have it. It's like an accomplishment that few get. Not everybody gets that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of the best parts about it. So
Now, again, going in boot camp, how was boot camp? What was that experience like for you?
so boot. I mean, everybody talks about how crazy and hard the Marine Corps boot camp is, and is it? Yes, of course it is. But it's a great experience. You learn a ton of different things. You learn when your mother used to say no, it's a whole different thing when the Marine Corps tells you no.
Mm,
So following orders is a tough thing, but I got to tell you, to me, I had fun. I loved it. I loved everything that had to do with the PT, the pull-ups. I was a 300 PFTer,
mm.
which means I did my sit-ups. I did my under 18-minute 3 mile run, and I did my 20 pull-ups. So, but I was only 140 pounds, so it's a big difference. Can't do
Yeah.
it today, but I was able to do all that. So that being said, that was the fun parts for me. That was the fun parts, not for everybody.
Mm,
The learning in the Marine Corps was a little tougher when you have to know all your general orders. You have to know all a lot of different things in the Marine Corps. Um, the rifle training was fun. You got to shoot a rifle. I mean, who doesn't want to shoot a rifle? The toughest part. I don't know if I could say it, but I'll say it. It was called Mount F. And for people that don't know what that is, it's you want to look it up. So that was an adventure climbing up that mountain and with a nice 75-pound pack on your back. But yeah, that was probably the most exciting part of all.
uh,
Imagine a 140-pound guy carrying a 75-pound pack on his back
and trying to get it up Mount
and
F,
go up
right?
and going up Mount F. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah,
Nice,
yeah.
nice. So, I mean, obviously, boot camp was always a challenge for many and a blessing for some, right? But now, with that said, so after boot camp, you're rolled into your job. So, what were some of your occupational duties that you had to attend to?
So after boot camp, of course, you take your couple of weeks leave and then you have to report to your school. I went into aviation supply, which is a 3 months course of schooling that you have to go through. Um, I ended up going to Meridian, Mississippi, and I went through my schooling. And during the schooling, we had what's called a smokers, which is a boxing, Marine Corps against Army, against Navy, against Air Force. And of course, in every four corners, there is your Army, your Navy, your Air Force, your Marines. I boxed for the Marine Corps, which is an experience in itself. And it was awesome. It was awesome.
Jeez.
And yeah, so I started my boxing in the Marine Corps there, which carried on for several years after that too,
Mm,
just to let you know. But yeah, that was a great experience. I ran my second PFT, which it was a 299. I went. I was 4 seconds over the run, so I kind of messed up a little, but
mm,
did that also. These are the little memories that you keep in your mind that you never forget. But I got to tell you, the schooling was great. I'm originally from California. I was born and raised in California, and never seen it snow in my life until I went to Meridian, Mississippi.
mm,
Yeah, so that was a great experience. So I got to travel,
mm.
and I got to see different places, and yeah, I left schooling as a lance corporal, which is an E3, which is another advancement I did, and that was within 6 months of being in the Marine Corps. So
That's awesome.
pretty
That's
awesome,
awesome.
yes.
No, that's amazing. I mean, just think about it. Listen, we're sitting with a pretty bad man here, right? A boxing Marine, right? Think about that. Just being such a again inspiration and being able to get through that those triumphs there. But now, when you come out of that, right? Boxing, what is that experience like? Boxing in service. A lot of people that talk about they either played sports, right? Football or
Yes,
basketball for the Army, Marines, Navy,
yes.
whatever it is. But boxing, tell me about that.
So it was actually pretty cool. Again, I was 5'7.5", 140 pounds, and my instructor for the school was a gunnery sergeant, and he was just like me, small, and he was a boxer. So he asked me to join him, and learn how to box? I said, absolutely, I would love to.
Mhm.
I wanted to experience everything. So he took me to the side and trained me a little bit to box. And I'll add in, he had no front teeth, which is very cool. And he taught me how to box. And I ended up boxing a guy in the Navy that was about an extra 20 pounds on me. And yes, I won. So did I get knocked down? Yes, I did. I got knocked in. It was 3 rounds. I got knocked down twice, and I knocked him down 3 times. And
Ooh.
I won by decision. And it was like probably one of the most exciting experiences of my life. It was like you hear the whole side of the Marine Corps that's backing you, and they're screaming for it because you won. It's like how you get those tinglies in your body.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah,
amazing. It was amazing. Yeah, so I won the fight, and I just wanted to keep doing it. I just wanted to keep fighting. It was awesome. And of
yeah.
course, being in the Marine Corps, that's all they taught us how to do was fight. So protect yourself, right? Of course. So,
Protect yourself at all times,
yes, yes.
in and out the ring, right?
In and out, yes, of course.
But yeah, so I mean, so with that, just kind of diving in a little bit because we always want to know some of the insights. So you were a boxer. So in the what happened in the meantime? Were you doing your actual MOS, or were you were doing aviation
Yeah.
supply and box on the side, or how
So
did that
yeah,
look?
so I was doing my MOS for 3072, aviation supply. I got stationed in El Toro, and when I got to El Toro, my I don't remember his rank, but he was our NCOIC. Told me about another fight that was coming up, another smokers in El Toro, and of course, 100% I was going to do it. So
Mm,
I boxed in El Toro, and I had another box match there, and I don't remember who I fought, but won that one also.
mm,
And it just became exciting. Anytime there was a smokers, I was there. I was the first one in line to fight.
mm.
So I ended up going from 3072 with the Marine Corps. I went to another position, still at the same position of 3072, which is aviation. And I worked under the Navy directly, and I was one of the very few Marines that got the opportunity. And I wanted to actually tell you something about that because when I started working under the Navy, there was an opportunity that everybody now knows about. It's called the Toys for Tots, I think it's
Oh
called.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I was the first Marine to load the first present on the first time for Toys for Tots.
Oh, that's
It's a
fantastic.
story that I told my family, and I said, this Toys for Tots is one of the biggest things right now. And
Yeah.
I was the first Marine on the first time Toys for Tots was done. I loaded the first truck. I was the first guy to load a present. It was absolutely amazing. It was amazing, amazing. And that was it was my temporary additional orders that I got for that.
Hmm.
We did it for a week, and it was very small.
Mm.
Today, it's enormous,
Huge,
enormous. Yes,
huge.
yeah. And then
That.
from there, um, while I was stationed in El Toro, I also got the opportunity to be the one of the Marines in the 21 gun salute. I got to do the 21 gun salute for other veterans that have passed on. I got that opportunity to do that too. So,
Nice.
which was, I wanted to try to do anything and everything I could do while I was in the Marine Corps. It was amazing. It's just, it, I would love to see everybody at least do it, at least serve a term. It's an
Mhm.
amazing, amazing thing you can do in life. There's nothing better.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, do you come from a background of military personnel in your family, or is it just you?
So today, my oldest brother, he retired as a first sergeant out of Yuma, Arizona. He worked with the explosives, and my other brother is a retired sergeant major of the Army.
Mhm.
He did most of his time in Germany, and he did 32 years
Wow.
and lots of tours in Fallujah. Um, I think it was Iraq, several different places, and he honored me several years back with a flag that flew over Saddam Hussein's castle. Yes, I have that flag signed by the commanding officer, given to me in honor of my name, which was pretty amazing. Yeah, so I have that too.
Yeah,
But yes, we come from a military background.
that is an amazing honor.
Yes, yes.
I don't think everyone really. I just want to take a time to soak that in. Everyone is. You're not going to be able to. You can't buy that
You
anywhere.
can't buy it.
Okay. That's not nothing you can buy.
365 of those flags were flown. I have one of them.
Man, that's amazing.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
it's
That's
absolutely amazing.
that's incredible. So you know, understanding that having a military background and coming up under a military family, where do you think some of the military values were already instinctually provided into you going into service, or did you think the military or boot camp itself really pushed that forward?
So under my family, I had a single mother. Um, I come from a Latin background. My mother was a single Cuban woman, raising three boys and three girls.
Mm,
And were we out of control? 100% we were out of control. So, yeah, did we get in trouble? Yes, we got in trouble. We were in trouble every day. So, being put up against the wall was second nature to me because
mm,
it was every day. We were in trouble every single day. We were out of control kids. I think the Marine Corps actually straightened me out a little bit more when it comes to more discipline towards life itself.
mm.
But when it came to respect and honor, everything that was done through my mother, because my mother was a very, very hard woman that she demanded respect, and she demanded respect from to your elders, and which is something that I passed on to my family. Same
It's,
exact thing.
it's awesome.
Yes.
It's awesome. And I mean, obviously, this is something that will never ever be taken away. Not the experiences, not the values, not the injuries, right? Being a boxer, you can only imagine, right?
Beat him nose.
Oh, so what are some of the injuries becoming? Oh, yeah, again, being a boxer while in service, what are some of the things that may have occurred?
So after the first fight, I got knocked down first. This guy hit me so hard that my nose went and just like literally went to the side, and I had to breathe through there, and it was terrible. After the fight, all I can remember is my gunny going like this to my nose and fixing my nose, and it was all messed up. And did it hurt? Yeah, it hurt. And that was pretty much the main injury when it came to the fighting, was my nose. But other than that, as you get older, you tough it out and just do
Yeah.
it. I was taught through the Marine Corps, tough it out, do what you got to do. If it was a serious injury, it'd be a whole different story. But
Mhm.
these are things that are going to happen. I mean, if we go to war, and if you get a cut or you get something, do you stop? No, you can't stop. You got to keep going. And that's pretty much what I did. I never complained. I just did what I had to do.
Mhm.
So,
And we find that to be a part of, I think, the interwoven fabric of the military, just in general,
yes.
right? To tough it out, to be one of quote unquote character if you are able to tough it out,
Yes.
but obviously as we get older and we know, like, well, maybe we should take care of our bodies a little bit more. Maybe we should take care of our mental a little bit more. Maybe we should take care of our human selves a little bit more.
We don't think about that.
None.
You don't think about that until you get to the age of 60, which I just turned 60. And now you start feeling your injuries. You
Mhm.
feel your heart, knees, you feel your back, you feel your neck. And I got to tell you, did a lot of it happen in the military? Yeah. When I first went, I didn't have any pains. I was, that gun ho guy. Let's go. And now there's no way I can climb that mountain. That's for sure. you know, but no, it's of course I say it jokingly,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's everybody needs to take care of themselves. Take care of your bodies. Take care of your mind, which is the number one thing, because things stay in your head
Mhm.
forever. They don't go away. Any little thing could stay there for the rest of your life, and it's just things that happen.
Yeah, and then we tend, as military personnel, as I told you, well, as we discussed, the vulnerability is something that we lack. And I think as we continue to transition or to transition as a nation, vulnerability for the military personnel is something that we want to highlight and expose. But now, with you transitioning out of service and becoming a civilian, how was that experience? Was that something of a easy nature? Were you able to garner the information that you needed to transition, or how did that work?
It's kind of crazy. You know what? I'm seriously glad you asked me that, because when I got out of the Marine Corps, and hopefully anybody that's planning on going to the military and they're listening to this, or if they were in the military, No one told me what benefits I had. Nobody. You know that I waited almost 40 years. Let's think about this. Probably 33 years total of waiting to know that I qualified for VA. So all these years that have passed by, that not to say that the VA owed me, but the VA owed me. And I never claimed anything because I didn't know I can do it. And now that I'm out, and whoever's watching this and you want to scout vets for vets, I wouldn't go anywhere else. So I went in about 2.5 years ago. I got this man's name and number, and I said, what the hell, I'll give it a try. So I went in and I said, Ken, I said, your name was given to me. They said you can help me. So I told Ken my whole adventure that I had in this military and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And he says, well, I think we can get you help. I never went to the VA. I paid medical insurance for 30 plus years, not knowing that I had VA benefits to go to the hospital. And within 6 months, I had VA coverage. I was going to the hospital for VA and got everything checked. I was good to go with all the pains in my body and got 10% disability. I got medical. I was able to be checked. When I sat and I talked with Ken, I said, Ken, look, this is what happened to me. I got back pain. I got neck pain. I got knee pain. I got ankle pain. I had so many pains that I've toughed out for all these years and not knowing. So to make a long story short, today I've got 90% disability. And it's all because of this guy right here. And if you think I'm joking, you guys are more than welcome to contact me anytime you want, and I can show you what I got. But Vets for Vets did it all for me, 100%. And I'm not here praising Vets for Vets for you guys to go and join, because you join if you want to. But I'm going to tell you, if you want to get what you deserved, go to Vets for Vets. Plain and simple. Plain and simple.
We really take pride and joy having the opportunity to service you. But beyond that, just being able to service a veteran who have possibly been misguided through their transition and not understanding their benefits. And with that being said, we want to thank you for taking the opportunity out your busy schedules to come meet with us. And with that, thank you. We want to be able to provide you with one of our commemorative coins here
Oh,
that's going to
awesome.
be able to, really, hopefully be able to service on your mantle.
Oh my
Thank you
God.
so
That's
much. Thank you
awesome.
so much for the
Very
opportunity,
cool.
sir.
Marine Corps. Not all the others. I'm just kidding. And one thing I did leave out, that I should have actually continued to talk a little bit more about, the opportunity to travel is there's nothing better, because the more places you get to see, the more people you get to know. You get to see how different cultures work. That being said, I was stationed in Iwakuni, Japan, which is probably my favorite place in the entire world, and I've been to a lot of different places. And if I can go back to Japan today, I would go back just to go visit and enjoy myself, because it's amazing, and the military gave me that opportunity.
Awesome.
100%. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time.
you got it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ken.